In this video, we'll be detailing the installation of the Maverick Lite commercial reverse osmosis system. The Maverick comes in 4 sizes, starting at 200 gallons per day to 350, 500, and 750. The Maverick also comes with different tank options, ranging from 14 gallons to 80 gallons. Prior to installation, it's important to consider where the system will be installed. Always look for access to water, access to drain, and access to power for systems that include a booster pump. The Maverick RO system can be wall-mounted or floor-mounted, depending on your installation requirements. For this installation, we're going to keep the system on the floor. Lay out all your materials that are included in your box. Included will be your filter wrench, connecting fittings, transformer connector, your manual, tubing in different colors and sizes from 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch, and all your pre-filters and your membrane. The first step is installing your sediment, carbon, and chloramine block pre-filters. Use the included silicone lubricant to lubricate the filter O-rings and the housing O-rings. Seat the double O-ring seal of the filter into the cap of the housing. Fasten housing until it's hand tight. Repeat the same step for the next. Snug each filter housing until tight. To install the included membrane, we'll have to remove the membrane cap. First, we'll have to disconnect the plumbing. To do that, we have to disconnect the plumbing. You push down on this collar to remove the tube. Now we can twist off the cap. Now we can install the membrane in the housing. It's important that this end goes opposite of the cap. The thick black brine seal goes towards the cap. To ensure the membrane is fully seated, you'll need to firmly push it in. Then you reconnect the cap. Now we can reconnect the tubing. For this system, there's more than one right way to tie into the cold water line. For the sake of today's video, we're going to go with what I believe is the easiest method, teeing into the cold water angle stop beneath any sink. You also can connect to a main water line, but other fittings and other considerations might need to be factored in. For this installation, it's really convenient that we're just about 5 feet away from a mop sink. So step 1 is going to be shut off the cold water angle stop valve beneath the sink, and then relieve pressure by opening up the faucet. And we'll get a little bit of spillage, but we have some paper towels on hand to catch all that. These channel locks are overkill. Wish I had a crescent wrench, but this will get the job done. And I wish I had narrower shoulders. Plumbers, don't roast me in the comments, please. We're dealing with close quarters here, folks. It's easy. Anybody can do it. And here comes my spill. I ain't scared though, so we have paper towels. Installing the angle stop, again, channel locks, overkill, that's what we got. So this is just gonna go right on top. You don't need to tape it, there's an O-ring inside. It starts to spin freely from the metal part, so that's where we gotta tighten it down. And then we reconnect our cold water line. So now we can hook up the feed water side. We sent a few different colors of 3/8 inch tubing, white, blue, green, and black. I have black in my hand. Doesn't matter as long as it's 3/8. This is gonna be our water feed. You'll connect your feed line to this fitting here. This is where water enters the system. Before you do that, you just wanna make sure you have a nice right angle, tight angle on that tubing. If it's a little bit crooked, you can just snip off the end. That'll ensure you have a watertight connection. You want to make sure you feel that second jump. That tells you it's all the way seated into the fitting. We'll run the tubing just around the back side of the system and connect back to the cold water line angle stop valve beneath our mop sink there. So we've got the other end of our 3/8 inch tubing. We have a little bit of extra slack. You can leave slack. I'm going to try to trim this to be tight. So we're gonna run this over kind of behind the sink here and just eyeballing it. I don't know, that feels like the right length. We just plug in. And again, you want to make sure you feel it sit all the way down in there. And we're gonna keep that shut off for now. So when it's in this position, it's off. If you turn it that way, it's on. We're gonna keep it off. All right, so now that we have the cold water connection made, we need a place for the wastewater or dirty water to go. So here we have 1/4 inch black tubing, 2 really easy connections. First of which we included, this isn't included with the system, but you can buy it. This is a dual air gap fitting, so it works if you also have a water softener or a backwashing filter. You can connect to that drain line here. If you have an RO system, whether it's an under sink RO or like a Maverick Lite commercial RO, you can just plug in right here. This is code compliant because you have the air gap, and this is our drain connected to the P-trap at the bottom. Step 1, we're just connecting our 1/4 inch drain line to this quick connect fitting. And we will come around to the other side of the system. We're gonna connect our drain to this piece right here. This is our drain line flow control. This just regulates the flow or speed that water will flow to the drain. Another quick connect fitting, really easy. To make this install look a little bit prettier, I'm just gonna trim this to length, eyeballing it once again. But 1/4 inch tubing, sometimes when you snip it, it can get a little flattened or compressed. You just wanna make sure that you retain a nice circle on the tubing. And plug in, and there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna connect our permeate or our clean water line, but first we're gonna actually flush the system to clean out any carbon fines. So if we can just get tight right here, we're gonna take our blue tubing or green tubing, it doesn't really matter the color, but blue is what we're gonna use here. We're gonna connect it to this end of the T. Now we keep this side capped. Some customers decide to not run to a tank. They decide to run this blue line directly to their points of use, whether that's a faucet, ice maker, or some type of commercial process. Don't usually recommend that. We generally recommend also hooking up to a tank. We'll get to that in a second. But for this exercise, we're going to run this tubing just over into our mop sink for the purpose of flushing the system and checking for leaks before we bring this fully online. I'm gonna let that tubing sit there for a second. So with our tubing sitting in the sink, we're gonna go ahead and turn on our feed cold water and let all of the plumbing charge up with pressure. 1, to check for leaks, and 2, to prepare for plugging this pump in. So now the system is filling with pressurized water, coming into the inlet, through all of the filters, but it's coming to a stop at the solenoid. The solenoid is the door that opens and closes to let water into the system, the rest of the system. That solenoid will not open until we plug in our booster pump. So right now there's no water running through this blue line to the sink until we plug this in. So like a computer transformer, we're plugging into this side of the transformer. That rest right there in the back of the frame, and we'll plug in here. and might want to grab a hold of this blue line because it might want to jump out of the sink. Now the water, when it first comes out, it's going to appear discolored. That's totally normal. That's the reason we're doing this flushing process. Yeah, this is just dust from the carbon filters breaking loose. It's normal with every carbon filter, whether it's a fridge filter or a pitcher filter. The first few seconds of water will appear a little bit grayish. That's normal. It's just discoloration from the carbon. It'll run clear here after a couple of minutes. It's actually looking pretty clear already. And just as a visual reference, like a mental touchstone, this is a 500 gallon per day Maverick, and that's an example of its product flow rate, or how quickly it'll make drinking water or processed water. So that right there, that's just about 1/3 of 1 gallon per minute. When you connect to a tank, you're basically storing your clean water, so you could have 20 gallons or 50 gallons on demand if you need to fill a glass or anything else for your process faster than that. So after a couple of minutes here, it's running clear. We're going to unplug the transformer to shut the system off. That'll run down to a trickle. Okay, so for this installation, we'll be using a bladder composite tank. This tank comes in different shapes and sizes, ranging from 14 gallons all the way up to 120 gallons. This one is 20 gallon. We call it a bladder tank because inside of this tank, there's a pocket for air and a pocket for water. The pocket of air dictates the outlet water pressure. For this system, we're going to reduce down our 1-inch male connection to 3/8 inch to accept the line from our RO system. So these are the fittings that'll come with the system. The fittings that are included with your system depend on which size or kit you ordered. For this one, we got a 1-inch by 3/4 inch bell reducing coupling, a 3/4 inch by 3/8 inch reducing bushing, and a 3/8 inch male by quick connect adapter. We're using Teflon tape to make sure these connections are watertight. All right, so now we can make our tank connection. So first thing I'm going to do is plug in down here, make sure it's tight, and then I'm actually going to snip off just a little bit. And that's so we can put in our ball valve at the bottom. And then we continue our run. And I'm going to shut this off for now and finish our connection. The top of the system where our cap was. To do that, we're just going to remove the cap from the T. It's a little long, you could snip it to length. All right. And to finish up this install, we're just going to land a little RO faucet into our sink here. And I am just kind of eyeballing this one because we have a handy dandy step bit. It's not quite this easy if you have granite countertops. That'll do. All right, we'll trim back our tubing one more time. Okay, so now that we've got all of our connections made, all that's left is plug it in. And right now the system is off. Let's go through a couple of scenarios. So right now there's power to the system, but the system's not running because all pressure is equal. Once I open this valve at the bottom of the tank, the system will kick on and begin filling it. It's going to take about 45 minutes or so for a 20-gallon tank to fill from a 500-gallon per day RO. So when I turn this on, the system should kick on. So even though the tank is still filling, we can still call for water at the faucet. And that's about the water pressure I'd expect. It's good. That was our Maverick install video. We connected our feed water, connected to drain, connected to tank, plugged it in, and we're up and running in, I'd say, under 30 minutes. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, give our tech support a call at 800-608-8792. Thanks.